Hello, everybody, and welcome to the LFC Transfer Room with myself, Louis, James, and Owen. Just coming along for a little preview before we get started. How are we doing, James?
I'm good, but I think my camera's just gone a bit weird, which is
Yeah.
bad
Stick your hand in
timing.
front of it. That normally seems to focus it for me.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
that's odd.
there we go. There we go.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to some football again. Or some Liverpool again, and the team's not as bad as I anticipated. So I'm expecting good things for us today.
Yeah, and Owen, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, thanks. It's actually a really, really nice day today. I just closed my blinds before I came on to make sure the light wasn't too bad. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting game today, actually. The team's pretty strong for what I expected, but still a lot of youth in there, so should be all good, I think.
Yeah, I can get the team. The team's at the bottom. So we've got Kelleher in goal, Bradley, Canate, Van Dijk, and Robertson at the back. Fabinho in midfield, which is a big call. Morton and Dixon Bonner make up the midfield. And then Kaide Gordon starts up front with Curtis Jones and Waltman. So a few familiar faces. It's relatively strong, as you said, Owen. But a few relatively unknowns for people who aren't sort of in tune with the academy. Who are we most excited to see sort of make a step up to the first team?
For me, it's Max Waltman, isn't it? He's a Scouser, 17 years old, scoring goals for the under-18s. I'm not sure how the BBC have put the team out, is how they'll play. I think it might be a diamond with the two up front. But I'm really excited to see, everyone loves a scout striker coming through the academy. So I think it's just going to be great to see how he performs and, try to remember he's 17. So this has been forced upon it. It's not that, this is necessarily his time, but it'll be great to see it.
Yeah, definitely. And for everybody in the comments, obviously the game starts at 2. So, we'll be speaking preview for now, but come 2:00, the game will get started. So do stick around for that. Owen, Kaide Gordon gets another chance to shine. He had I can't remember if he started or if it was a substitute appearance earlier in the season, but are you excited to see him get another chance? Do you think he's got what it takes?
Yeah, I was just going to mention him, actually. I'm really, really excited to see Kaide Gordon. I've heard great things from him when he was at Derby, and even now when he's been at Liverpool, you just listen to Klopp and all the other coaches, and they all speak really, really fondly of him. They all say how much of a good attitude he's got, how much of kind of a Liverpool player he really is. So, look, today is another opportunity for him. It's kind of a chance to show what he's got in the first team. It's going to be interesting to see how he does against kind of lower league team, but he's got the likes of Van Dijk, Fabinho, Robertson, whoever, all the strong players in there to play with him. So I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah, and going off of what you said, actually, that there's been a lot of talk from within Liverpool that they have high hopes of him. They've even compared him to potentially emulating Harvey Elliott. I don't want to get carried away because I feel like that's a little bit of a ploy as a later excuse to not invest in the squad as much as we feel it needs to be. Do you get that feeling as well, James, or do you think it could be the next big thing?
It's so hard at this age, isn't it? Everyone's got the potential to be the next big thing, and I think we saw quite a lot of him in pre-season integrating with the squad and stuff like that, and he gets himself in great opportunities, but he just couldn't seemingly finish anything off. But so many have come so far and not made it. The one that always sticks in my head is Ben Woodburn. Similar type of player. Owen's probably like, who's Ben Woodburn? Just because he left that many years ago. I think he's still on the books, actually. He was this pre-season as well. And I want these players to take the opportunity to really sort of show what they can do. But this is Liverpool. This is top club in world football. The level you have to be at has to be exceptional. Probably these players need to do a little bit more of what we need to do, a little bit more of what Chelsea do, which is farm them out, lower Premier League, Championship, work like that, build up their confidence and experience before they probably hit our first team. But Kaide Gordon is a classic example of someone who I think could make it. He could do a Harvey Elliott, but I think he needs that time away from our club and not games like this due to us having to throw him in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think even if he was to, score a hat-trick today, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be knocking on Salah's door for right wing anytime soon. He needs to go out and play proper competitive football because, even the under-21 stuff, it's still not the same as, even a League One, League Championship team. We've also lined up with a pretty strong bench, Owen, and I think, that just goes to show that this season we are taking the cups, the domestic cups at least, a lot more seriously. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely do agree with that. But with Firmino, Minamino, the likes of them players, I think they have to be in the squad today because, some of them haven't played in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they're going to need that game time coming up. Obviously, we know a few of the boys have gone off to AFCON, so we need the likes of those forwards to step up and really fill their boots. And I think I'd expect the likes of those two I just named, Firmino, Minamino today, I'd expect them both to come on and get 20, 25, 30 minutes just because of the amount of games coming up. They both haven't really featured too much, and they're going to be really, really key. Put it like that. If we're going to do well, then they're going to both need to score a lot of goals.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted why Minamino ain't starting.
Yeah, to be honest, that was what I thought as well.
Why isn't he up for, why isn't he the central striker and stuff like that? Because he should be banging in a load of goals, but
unless Klopp really feels like he's going to be a key figure in these next couple of weeks and he doesn't want to risk him, but then why risk a Van Dijk or a Fabinho? That's something that I wanted to ask both of you as well. Obviously, there's a big blend of first-team regulars and youth here. Do you think he's got it right, not just in terms of winning this game, but in terms of risk and versus reward kind of thing?
Do you want to go first, Owen?
Yeah, I'll go first. I don't think he really had much of a choice. I think it's how many COVID cases we've got within the squad, injuries as well. It wasn't I don't think it was really a case of, let's go with who we want to pick. It was more of a case of who can we pick with Klopp and the coaching staff. I don't think they really would have wanted to have played Van Dijk and Fabinho in this game, but at the same time, we have to progress into the next round. Simple as we can't just get knocked out and play all of our youngsters. So I think we just had to play them. We didn't have too much choice there.
Yeah, and that's a good point. What you mentioned about maybe this squad is the only squad that we've actually got. Something a little bit more topical rather than just this game. I remember Klopp making a big deal out of, clubs should be more open about who's got COVID, purely for the sake of being open, but also for other reasons. I've lost off the top of my head now. But do you think that, I don't feel like he has been particularly open about this. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but James, do you have a particular view on this? Should he have backed up his words and been a bit more explicit about who's got COVID and who's injured?
This is like the dark arts of the game, isn't it? Where you go, do you say who's out? Do you say who's in so that they can plan effectively? It's the old Alex Ferguson mind games. If you don't know who's starting, you don't know how to prep. So you prep for everything and hope that the team aren't as ready as they want to be. And Klopp does love a good mind game. You always see him stood watching the team as they're, the training just before kickoff and stuff like that, just to see what they're up to and stuff. So whilst, yes, maybe honesty is the best policy and it's Shrewsbury and, at the same time, if they know they can plan for it, because right now scoring a goal against us looks quite tough. Us scoring a goal also looks relatively tough, and you could plan for that. But now that they don't know that, there's no requirement to do it. So why would you? You want to win a game of football.
No, I agree. And whilst you are here, otherwise I'll get shouted at by everybody else on the channel. Make sure that even if you're just passing through, chuck us a like and also a subscription to the channel for all of the watch-alongs, all post-match analysis. pre-match like this one as well, tactical analysis, and of course all of your LFC transfer news. So make sure that you do hit the subscribe button, even if you're just passing through today, to keep up with everything else that we are doing. Owen, off the back of that as well, what's your take on that? Should he have been a bit more forthcoming, or is it, at the end of the day, football is a tactical one and maybe you've got to sort of keep your cards close to your chest?
It's an interesting, but I think with the COVID, it's kind of, I don't know what you call it exactly, but sometimes you aren't allowed to say without the player's permission whether they have got it or not. It's kind of quite a private matter. So I think I can understand there why he hasn't just said who's got COVID and who hasn't. And to be fair, he doesn't really need to. It's only the fans, us, that want to know, really. I don't think anyone else is too interested. We'll see when the lineups are released, as we've just seen now. So I don't think it's too much of a big deal, personally.
Yeah. So I'm not going to pretend that any of us are Shrewsbury Football Club experts, but obviously any FA Cup tie, that's their bread and butter, coming from the lower leagues up against a giant such as Liverpool. They've got an opportunity to, make a name for themselves in the FA Cup. Obviously, we played them a couple of seasons ago, and I think that came around the same time as the big Club World Cup fiasco. So we had to play the kids like 24 hours before our final game, and they still managed to win. I won't ask your predictions just yet, but what kind of a game are you expecting from this, Owen?
I'm expecting, well, as we always see in the FA Cup, the lower league teams always kind of treat this sort of game as an FA Cup final. They want to win it. It's simple as that. They want to make a name for themselves, and they want to kind of show the world what they've got when they're at the biggest stage. So I expect, like we saw in the Newcastle game as well against Morecambe, that... Oh, wait, sorry, who did Newcastle play? Was it Morecambe?
No, it was Cambridge.
Cambridge, yeah.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, we saw that where Cambridge were treating it as their cup final, and they just wanted to win, show everyone kind of what Cambridge is about. And I don't expect Shrewsbury to be any different from that at all.
Yeah. And James, what are you expecting from today? Are you expecting quite an end-to-end fixture, or could it be quite slow?
I think, well, I don't think we can underestimate the benefit of Klopp being back when you've got kids making their debuts and the nerves and everything they're feeling. So when you've got the spine of Konate, Van Dijk, Fabinho and Robertson, I think they'll be pumping these kids up. They'll probably feel 10 foot tall, like they can really do something special. You've got Klopp making, don't worry about this. You just express yourself. We've got it covered back here. So I think it's probably more than likely quite a comfortable game for us. We'll just be pinging it across the back, keeping possession for long periods of time, letting the kids try and do something, trying to get Jones interlinked between it, and just sort of comfortably keeping them pinned in their own half is probably what I expect. And I think they'll try, it'll either come off and it'll be a great game for us, or they'll just consistently keep trying and Klopp will keep pumping them up and then throw on Minamino and Firmino.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just a comment come here. Do you think with level youth players we have... Wait, hang on a sec. Should be seen as a good time to open these young players to a team with world-class players? So I assume he's talking about, again, what we spoke about earlier, the mixture between youth and experience. And I think that's always the best way to introduce youth. I know it was that same season as the Club World Cup. In the Carabao Cup, we played against Aston Villa with pure kids, and that was, I think we lost 4-0. And that was kind of a bad example of how to, give kids the opportunity. You've got to blend youth with experience. But something you mentioned, James, and I'll put this to you, Owen. We see Curtis Jones playing as a winger in this game, most likely, according to the lineup. We've often seen him as part of the midfield. Do you think he's got the abilities to play on that left wing for us, if that's where he's going to be?
Yeah, I do. I really like Curtis Jones as kind of that inside forward. He doesn't really have the pace of a Mane or Salah, but he does have that kind of flair and trickery, I think, that he could definitely play on the left side of a front three. I personally, if it was up to me, I would play him as part of the front three against Arsenal on the League Cup. I'd play Curtis on the left, then Firmino or Jota down centre, and then Minamino on the right. That's what I do personally. But I think, yeah, Curtis has definitely got a lot to improve in that position, and he's definitely capable of playing really well today and scoring a goal or two.
I
Absolutely.
love it when he comes in from the left and tries to curl it in with the right foot.
Yeah,
he loves that move, and it's brilliant when it works, because that goal against Arsenal was just
and Everton as well.
Yeah.
I would have expected a bit more experience in this team in the front line. So that goes to what you were saying, James. You'd have preferred Minamino and Firmino, or one or the other.
Firmino's probably still getting his fitness, but Minamino's been available all season, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he had COVID or if he had a slight knock over the past couple of weeks. So again, maybe he is just maybe he'll be introduced at half-time or who knows. But thank you very much, Whitney. Thank you for subscribing, and I'm sure we'll see you on another date. Anthony says Curtis Jones, man of the match incoming. It could be. Who knows? Who do you think will? I know I asked you which youth players we're most excited for, but who do you think is going to turn up and not be somewhat complacent? Because I do expect a slightly complacent performance, potentially from some players, potentially from the whole team, at least in the first half, until we get a rollicking from Klopp at half time. Owen, who do you think could stand out potentially out of the whole team?
I think it could be anyone, if we're being completely honest. It's like there's not really sort of one player you go, oh, it's definitely going to be him. I think they're all quite evenly balanced. I said it before with Gordon. I definitely think he'll stand out. Conor Bradley at right back as well. He hasn't had a huge amount of opportunities in the past. Nico Williams, I don't quite know where he is at the minute, but we know Trent's got COVID, so big opportunity for him as well.
Yeah, and everyone at the Newcastle training ground not playing, just getting signed up.
So Ross thinks that Bobby should have been given 55 to 60 minutes. Yeah, I mean, he could come on at half time if things are going badly, but ultimately, if we end up going 2-3-0 up, I think it's better in the long run that he doesn't start this game at least. A lot of people in the comments going on about, and I know I'm going to butcher this. Does anyone know how to say this name properly?
No, I'm staying out of it.
Musialowski, I'll call him.
Musialowski, the Polish.
I think he's Polish, and I should have asked my girlfriend how to pronounce it, because that's where she originates from.
Yeah.
But
Musialowski, I think, but
yeah, a lot of people have been quite excited about him this season, but he's not. He doesn't even make the bench, so not sure why that would be.
Might have COVID. You just don't know.
Exactly, and that's where he hasn't told. Well, no one at the club has told us exactly who and hasn't got it. So who knows? There's probably a reason. Nico on his way out, hopefully. So. Yeah, I think that might have been discussed in a Transfer Central episode at some point this week. But Nico Williams certainly seems like someone who wants to get first-team football and isn't happy sitting behind arguably the best right back the world has ever seen. So I can't say I blame him for wanting to find pastures new. Do we think it's time to let him go in this window, or do we need to try and keep hold of him till the summer at least and bring in someone else? Or is Bradley up to the task who starts today?
I guess we'll find out, won't we? How up to he's with the back four, isn't he, Bradley? It's not like it's a makeshift one where we're going to see how he does. Goalkeeper's a little different. So this is the thing. Milner can play there. Fabinho used to play there. Henderson can play there. Bradley can play there. We have enough backup, shall we say, in the right back thing for me to let Nico Williams go. It's not like the whole Origi discussion where striker, we probably need more attacking options. I think we've got enough in the tank right back wise to go, well, do you know what? Yeah, let's let Nico go if he wants to go play first team football, which makes sense because he wants to play for Wales and he's not going to dislodge Trent. So
yeah. Owen, do you think it's likely he could be heading out in January?
No, I don't agree with what James has said. I don't agree. No, I think Milner in the summer, there's been reports that he's going to leave. So that leaves a massive void in the team.
That's a backup for every position gone.
Yeah. And then I think, Nico, unless he came out and said that he wants to leave, then I think you don't have a choice then. I think he has to go. But I just think he's good cover. He's a youngster. He's homegrown. I just don't see a reason why we would get rid of him unless an absolutely great offer came in. Bradley, I still haven't seen a huge amount of him, but who knows if he can be up to the task in the future.
Yeah.
Joe Gomez, great shout as right back.
Ahmed says Joe can cover at right back, but he is very injury prone. And
Joe, Rory Delap, Gomez.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So Ross is saying that with COVID, I'd only be looking to bring people in and not let anyone go till summer. So yeah, for January, I must say, even though we are the LFC transfer room, I'm sorry to let you down. I see it as very unlikely that we do bring anyone in this summer. I don't know if either of you disagree with me. So for those of you who are waiting for the game, obviously it doesn't kick off until 2. So please do hang around. And whilst you're here, subscribe to the channel for all of your LFC news and like this video as well. It will really help us out. Even if you're just passing through, there's so many of you here. It's so good to see. Please let us know your predictions in the comments, who you think might stand out, who you're eager to see. And we can have a little discussion about it with just under 10 minutes to go until kickoff. With that being said, I will now ask you both for your predictions for this game. James, I'll start with you.
I'm going to go 3-1 and 1-1 at half-time, because I think at half-time he'll bring on Bobby and Minamino, and I think that's when we'll take it away from them.
Okay, so you think it'll depend on the subs?
Yeah, I think it'll be the subs that just take the game away from them, and I think it'll give a good fist of it.
Okay.
So 3-1.
3-1, that's James's prediction. And Owen, what about you?
I'm going to go for 3-0 Liverpool. I think Curtis Jones will get 2, and I think Minamino will then come on and get a goal.
That would be lovely. I mean, yeah, it's not. I don't think it's too outrageous to expect a clean sheet from this starting 11 with almost a fully fit back line. You know, if they score a goal, it'll be quite disappointing on our behalf. Anthony says, I know this isn't about the match, but we are looking at Elliott taking charge of that midfield before he got injury. And if he doesn't come back 100%, we are needing to be looking for a midfielder. So in our recent debate room episode this week, go and check that out. We spoke about, Jordan Henderson and where his place in the team is. And Matty, someone else on our channel, made the point that when Harvey Elliott played at the start of the season, he was putting in consistently stronger performances than Jordan Henderson, and ultimately was almost cementing his place in the starting 11. If he comes back and he's able to get to full fitness and back up to scratch quite quickly, I mean, how far can he go? Can he take control of that midfield, Owen?
I think the sky's the limit for Harvey Elliott. He's still only 18. You've seen what he's done. He's been out for Blackburn in the Championship. He's done really, really well there. I just think he can achieve anything Harvey Elliott can. He really, really can. He's just really, really good player. I haven't really seen a player like him in a long, long time.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Because he started as a right winger, and I think a lot of people said, has he got the pace to play that in a Liverpool team? And then obviously Klopp's brought him back into that midfield 3, which I think shows a lot of trust in his ability. Do you think that is his strongest position, James? And do you think that's where he'll be most likely to take control?
Yeah, I do, and everyone does this quite a lot. But I think about Klopp, and then I think about the type of player Elliott is, and he's the Mario Götze type, isn't he? He can just appear where he wants, put his thing on it. He worked really well with Salah. He worked really well with Trent. They had that whole interchange going where one was coming in, going wide, and they were switching between the 3. It was really unpredictable, but for me, he's 18. He shouldn't be running a Liverpool midfield at 18. He should be learning. He should be getting there. He should be making mistakes. He should be having highs, and then he should be terrible. Might be great for 10 games. Expect him to be bad for 5 games. He's 18 years old. So I don't think he might be the future of our midfield, but I would say we definitely need a 25-year-old coming into peak to take over that midfield for now, more than we need an 18-year-old to come and take over our midfield.
Yeah, I agree 100%, and I wish you'd been in that debate, because I sort of got myself lost and started losing that one. But no, it's a brilliant point. You know, a young player, they've kind of got not the rule of the roost, but they've got a free pass in their first few games to go about, do what they want to do, express themselves. But eventually, no matter who you are, you're going to hit a point where things don't go your way, and it's obviously about how you bounce back from that. But for a team like Liverpool, who are looking to be at the top end of the Premier League, trying to win the Champions League, as much as it's exciting to see such a young player doing so well, if he's playing this well at this age, imagine what it'll be like when he's 25. So this isn't even his ceiling. So exactly, he needs to be learning from other people. If we had better owners who are more willing to spend, I would agree. I'd say get one or even two prime central midfielders to come in, and I'd say loan Elliott out for another season. I'd say put him somewhere where he's going to be the absolute, biggest player in that team. Maybe a lower Prem, maybe an upper Championship player, or maybe even another league like a Serie A or a La Liga. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit controversial to get rid of him, but that's purely if we had more competent owners who would bring in the replacements that we need. But obviously,
Tielemans would be perfect, I think.
Tielemans, yeah.
You see, I want Frank Kessie. I think Kessie is everything Liverpool need, because he's just a workhorse who never makes a mistake. I know he did people say against us he did, but his injury record is never injured. He's never out. He's 25. He's free in the summer. It just seems like an absolute Liverpool central midfielder, because he doesn't score. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's not attacking. He just does the work. I want Kessie so much.
Dennis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach as well. He's on out contract in the summer. He looks like an absolute perfect buy for us.
Yeah, if you thought Milner and Henderson, that Milner's 35, Henderson's 31, you might keep Henderson to take over the Milner role. If you were to get two really hard-working midfielders, so that your wingers and your wing-backs could be attacking, you couldn't go. Well, you probably could go wrong, but it feels right, those two, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Well, we're just almost ready for kickoff now, 1:57 I make it out to be. So I'll let you guys get away. For everyone who's still here, thank you so much for being here. It's great to have this many people and everyone interacting in the comments. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, even if you're not going to watch the rest of this video, just to keep up with all the Liverpool news, and it really helps us out as well. So James, Owen, thank you very much for coming on, and I'm sure we'll meet again soon on another stream.
All right, great. Cheers.
Cheers, Louis.
All right, here we are. So, welcome everybody, as we'll be getting underway very shortly for Liverpool versus Shrewsbury. Let me just get that. So how's everybody feeling? We've got a few predictions already coming in from everybody. A few 4-1s, 3-1s. Not a lot of people have faith in us to keep a clean sheet. Let me just move my camera. There we go. That's better. I don't know. I've got to obviously back the boys. And I think with that defence, which was very surprising, I didn't expect it to be that strong, as we didn't know, who had COVID and who didn't. Anthony's going for a 3-4-0, hopefully. Yeah, I think if we don't what's the word? If we don't keep a clean sheet, it will be a massive disappointment. We've got to win this game. You say that no matter what, but if it was pure kids playing this game, I wouldn't have minded either way. But we've got Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, and Fabinho as well. So we've got to take advantage. So we'll see how it all goes. But I hope everybody's doing okay. Ross Wright is hoping for a straightforward win. Aren't we all? We don't need... The last thing we need is extra time, for goodness sake. Extra time and penalties just would not be the one. Thank you again for everybody who is commenting. And, I'm going to keep on saying it. If you haven't already, do make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We really, really appreciate it, and it really helps us out. So Kieran's predicting a 5-1. Always the cop. Thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying this video as well. And if you're not already, make sure that you do subscribe. But it sounds like you are, which is brilliant. Thank you very much. So just to go through the lineup again, let me take off this banner. So we've got Kelleher in goal, Bradley playing right back. I think Nico Williams is either injured or is one of those with COVID. We've got Konate playing, and the game has got underway. So we are live and off and running. So as I was saying, Bradley starts, Konate and Van Dijk are in the middle. So we really shouldn't be giving Shrewsbury a chance with the game, with scoring here. Robertson at left back as well. So he's coming back after suspension, and I think people were saying he might be injured as well. So it'll be interesting to see if he plays the full game. And then in midfield, we have Fabinho, Tyler Morton and Dixon Bonner. And then Gordon, who everyone was keen to see, starts up top alongside Curtis Jones, who will be playing on the wing, which is interesting. He's normally a midfielder for us, but he has been known to play in the wing. Thanks, Simon. I hope you have a pleasant day. It's a nice little clip there. So if you are in the comments, it's nice to get your opinions on everything. What's under the hat? Well, if you subscribe and do a few other things, then maybe I'll show you. So Kaide Gordon is someone that a lot of people are excited about. So hopefully, stream. It's annoying. So I was sure it was on BBC iPlayer, but apparently not. So you just got to look in certain places. Twitter, you just search in what you want, and more likely than not, you will find it. But keep me next to you for the commentary, because why would you want unbiased commentary where they, hype up Shrewsbury and talk negatively of Liverpool, and you could just have pure biased Liverpool commentary? That's what we're all here for. We're all Liverpool fans. So thoughts on Kelleher? Thank you, Carmack, for the reply. I think he's brilliant. I think he's just at the perfect stage where he is now in terms of age and experience, where he's a really, really reliable, like up there with the most reliable backup keepers in the league. And he's also not at that point where he's looking to really push for first team football elsewhere. So if we can keep him like that for as long as possible, then, that's our backup keeper slot sorted. But let me know what you think about him as well. Tom is going for a 6-0 win. Bold. Very, very bold. I'd love it to be that. If we can get an early goal now, that would certainly set the tone right. Yeah, Ahmed. So you found a stream, which is brilliant, and you're still here. So please do stay here, and we can have a chat about the game as it unfolds. Coco's going for a 3-1. Again, a lot of people are expecting Shrewsbury to get a goal, and I think we need to be a bit more tougher on ourselves. We can't be affording to let Shrewsbury score against Konate and Van Dijk with Fabinho sat in front of them as well. It's a little bit embarrassing, really, and I would be very, very disappointed if we concede. Even if we put 7 past them, I'll be upset that we've conceded one. As Curtis Jones has a chance to cross the ball in here, he's twisting and turning just inside the right-hand side of the Shrewsbury box. And now there's a cross for Bradley there, but it is pushed out by the Shrewsbury back line. And yeah, Anthony, you're absolutely right. We're about I'm about 3.5 minutes in on my means of watching the game. That's what I'll say. And yeah, Shrewsbury have barely touched the ball, apart from when they've been trying to clear it when Liverpool got it into the box. So it's a good start so far, and we need to make it count quickly if we're going to have a nice, enjoyable evening Oh, thank you, mods. Thank you for the like and the subscription. We really, really appreciate it. The rest of you, if you haven't done so already, please do. You won't regret it, and it will make us all at the LFC Transfer Room very, very, very happy. So Darren says Liverpool can win, but they're using their second team. Yeah, absolutely. We've used worse teams, I think, and managed to get results. It's always the cop. What is it with Anfield lately? Those fans are still as the fake crowd we had in COVID. So I haven't actually got the. I can do that now. Actually, I was going to say I haven't got volume, but so it sounds. So what you're saying, it sounds like it's quite quiet, which is disappointing. I'm sad to hear that. Really. Doesn't sound too bad. I've just got the audio on. Oh no, there we go. Can everyone hear me now? I was just muted. Whitney says, well, it's 91-90 possession. We're all over him. 45-5 passes. Not a bad start. As Curtis Jones drives forward now on the left, plays in Robertson, I think, on the overlap, and Liverpool do get a corner out of it. And yeah, that's what I was thinking, Anthony, because a lot of people have hyped him up for the last year or two. So it's weird for him not to at least be involved in this game from the bench. So it probably is a COVID case. But as I was saying, Liverpool do have a corner in this game. Thank you for everybody who's been commenting so far. Please do keep it up. Let me know your thoughts. Any questions you've got about Liverpool, I'll be more than happy to give my takes on it. Darren says Liverpool is the team to win, but the game is not finished. No, that's the beauty of the FA Cup, isn't it? You can't take anything for granted, no matter who you're playing. But Liverpool very, very dominant so far, and it's a beautiful ball played over to Kaide Gordon on the right. But there's a free kick to Shrewsbury here, and Dixon Bonner, of course, starts in the midfield. Interesting to see how he gets on alongside Tyler Morton, who this time gets to play slightly more advanced rather than filling in for Fabinho in the 6 role. So I'm looking forward to what he can do. He looks very tidy on the ball, so hopefully he can be somewhat of a creator for us. So it's a very, very good start. And thank you, everybody, for watching who is here so far. We are also on Twitter, as you can see on the bottom right of the screen, at LFC Transfer Room. That's for your up-to-date, minute-by-minute transfer news involving Liverpool and all Liverpool news in general, really. There's nothing that happens in Liverpool that's if it's worth reporting, it will be on the LFC Transfer Room Twitter. And they'll let you know whenever we post a new video as well. Oh, thank you, Anthony. Thank you. I'm getting questioned in the comments, and I need some backup. Anthony, you're 30 seconds ahead of me, so I'm going to watch it. If subscribed, and we'll definitely be back. Do you do lives on YouTube regularly? Well, if you just pause me for 30 seconds, and then keep on playing it, and then we'll be fine. There's no need to go. Anthony, you can still watch us at the same time. But no, if you do decide to go, we'll be doing live. We do lives most days now, so feel free to get involved in the comments. If you turn on the bell notification as well as subscribing, then you'll know exactly when we post and when we go live. And we do watch alongs for every game as well, mainly with myself. So Leighton Clarkson, he's been brought back, and he's not involved today. So whether he's just not match fit, 'cause he hasn't been starting much at Blackburn, or whether he's got COVID remains to be seen. And that's something that we discussed on the preview just before, whether, because Klopp went on a lot a few weeks ago about, teams should be more open about who's got COVID and who hasn't. However, with this massive outbreak here, he's not said too much about who's got COVID and who hasn't. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, but what do you guys think? Do you think he should have followed his word, or do you think he's right to keep it under wraps like most other clubs have been doing? We're just under 10 minutes in here, and Liverpool still dominant. Not much in terms of possession for Shrewsbury at all. So for anyone who's asking where I'm watching it from perfectly legal means, all right? And that's all you're getting out of me. If you do want to watch it, go on Twitter or something, just search in what you're looking for. There's a chance here, but it's cleared. Search what you're looking for, and you'll most probably find what you're looking for, all right? So Anthony says, it's strange that they've announced Trent COVID, but nobody else. Yeah, so that was just today, wasn't it? Because he's not in the squad at all today. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what their process or thought process is on reporting COVID and what have you. I'm just going to bring my camera down ever so slightly. There's a lot of forehead going on. Ahmed says VPNs are little things, eh? Oh, well, I wouldn't know. No, I wouldn't know. I wish we were sponsored by ExpressVPN, but that's not the case at present. So El Pistolero, there's no official links, but if you look in the right place, I'm sure you can find something. Hylas says, I'm wrecked not to see Mateusz Musiałowski, but if he's got COVID-19, nothing to do about it. Thought he was one of the brilliant ones. Exactly. I mean, again, that's where we just don't quite know. It must be COVID. Otherwise, this would have been a perfect game for him to, make. It would have been his first appearance in a professional Liverpool game. So for me, it must be COVID. There's not much else it could be, really. So Liverpool dominant in these early stages, as everyone's saying, but not too much in terms of shots on goal just yet. We've got a free kick, which Robertson is standing over out on the left-hand side. It's probably an outswinger, unless Curtis Jones decides to take it. But hopefully Van Dijk or Konate can jump above the rest. And no, it's over for a Shrewsbury goal kick. Liverpool 1708. Curtis Jones is playing well. But yeah, it's good to see him back at least. Take him a little bit of time to get up to full Premier League standards, but this is the kind of game that I think he does thrive in, where he can get on the ball. He's got loads of time, and he can because now he's one of the more experienced players in this squad, so he can try and dictate things, show a bit of leadership. And he's won it back here, but I think there's a free kick for Liverpool. So the commentary is buffered, and it's like, no, the footage is buffered on my stream. So whistles are blowing like 10 seconds before something happens on screen. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on. It'll be disappointing when there's a goal, but we move. So we've got another free kick here, much further out. I think it's Andy Robertson again. And it's easily cleared by the Shrewsbury defence. Now there's a chance to potentially try and get a cross in over on the right-hand side this time. Dixon Bonner fights off a challenge and keeps it. And now he's at the corner. Doesn't get a chance to cross it. Plays it out to Connor Bradley instead, who in turn plays it out to Tyler Morton. Tyler Morton sitting deep here. I think he's just covering for Fabinho, who's a little bit further forward. But it'll be interesting to see the role that he plays as this game goes on. So thank you everybody that is here. Please do keep up your opinions and questions in the comments. You can chat amongst yourselves or with me. And it should have been a penalty for Kaide Gordon there. There's a clumsy challenge by Shrewsbury. There's no VAR, of course, so the referee's word is what we'll go with. Thank you. Cheers to you too. Thank you for the comment. Hyla, I've checked with Transfer Market and they mentioned nothing about COVID-19 on the under-23 players. I guess Liverpool have changed their policy regarding revealing those who got it. I suppose it's such a massive, widespread outbreak. It's almost more worthwhile naming who is fit to play rather than who's got COVID and just letting us do the guesswork from there. And yeah, Ahmed, I agree. That was a clumsy challenge from Shrewsbury, but this is the FA Cup, and the little teams will get some decisions their way. They won't want to be giving us an easy chance to go in front inside 15 minutes, because I think if we get one goal and we take the lead, it could easily turn in that the dam could burst, kind of thing. And Dyke's forced to clear a Shrewsbury long ball, and that goes out for a Shrewsbury corner on our left-hand side. Really can't be conceding to this lot. Just not worth it at all. So I think I'm actually this stream that I'm on is actually pretty in line with live footage. Sorry, Lay, but that's the law. If you find a stream, feel free to have us on in the background as pure Liverpool commentary. But that's just the way things are. Steve, you can find it on Twitter. Literally just search up what you're looking for, which is Liverpool versus Shrewsbury, and it's a live something, and I'm sure you'll find it. Oh no, I don't want to do that. That's going to ruin everything. I don't want to know when a goal's been scored. Oh, Daniel, thank you. Thank you for updating, for letting everybody know what they're looking at. It's very, very, very kind. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've got the game in America, haven't you? It's just so strange that it's not on in England on a proper channel. It is very bizarre, and I do agree with everybody who's expressed that so far in the comments. So it'll be interesting to see how Bradley does. He looks like he's doing all right so far. Obviously, he has played a couple of games for us so far. But today he'll get to play alongside Van Dijk and Konate, and he'll have Fabinho in front of him as well. So a real chance to see what he is like with first-team players. I think in his previous game, you could just see him flagging towards the end, gave a few clumsy balls away, and looked just knackered playing first-team football. So we'll see. We'll give him another chance. We'll see how well he does. Cunars, thank you for the comment. Do you think we'll have Nico as our backup right back in future seasons or someone else? So I think we need to keep hold of him for the rest of this season. I can't see him being able to leave in January. But beyond that, I think he's no longer a proper youngster. He's at the age where he needs to be getting first team football, and leaks have come out from somewhere that, that's what he wants to do, and you can't blame him. I don't hold that against him at all. So I do expect that in the summer, he'll move on. Where to? Not sure. I think he could do well in the Premier League. Maybe Aston Villa. Maybe that'd be a good place for him. But I think they've got a decent right back actually. So maybe not. I just want all our players to go to. Whoa, Shrewsbury had a chance there 1-on-1, but Kelleher's out quickly to clear that, but it was offside anyway. Just a long ball over the top, flicked on by someone else. And now Liverpool come forward. Gordon gets a low shot. Oh, brilliant bit of play from Gordon. He gets the ball midway inside the Shrewsbury half and charges forward with it. It's a lovely ball forward from Fabinho, and he takes on a player, opens up the space for himself, shoots back towards the near post, and forces the keeper into a decent save. That was a shot on target, so if we didn't have one yet, we have one now, and it is a Liverpool corner. This is perfect for the kids playing at Anfield with a good mix of first-team players, all doing well so far. Yeah, I agree 100%. That's the best way to bring in the kids, is to blend them with first-teamers. That's how you learn. That's how they will feel settled and able to play their football. So Luton are 3-0 up against Harrogate, for anybody who was interested. Cardiff and Preston are still 0-0. Charlton and Norwich is 0-0. Stoke and Leyton Orient is 0-0. And Tottenham and Morecambe is still 0-0. So a very dull start to this Sunday of FA Cup fixtures. However, Wolves, as you rightly said, Hyla, are 1-0 up against Sheffield. So Joseph, do you think Liverpool will need to bring anyone in January? I think they do. Absolutely. We need another midfielder. We need another forward option. Do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely not. No chance. It'd be a real surprise to me if that did happen. Anthony Gordon looking better than how he played last time. Yeah, he looks a lot more confident. And again, I think that comes from having more first teamers. I mean, not many youngsters would have played that ball that Fabinho did to put him in there. And then it's just, about giving him the license to take on players the way that he wants to as a young player. So it's Curtis Jones now charging at the back line. Plays the ball out to Robertson, but that might have been offside. Curtis Jones might get a chance to have a shot. He goes out wide instead. Robertson crosses in, and that's cleared away again. But we do recycle the ball. It's still dominant on possession, and Curtis Jones earns us another free kick. Pretty much identical to the first one that I'd mentioned, to the left-hand side of Shrewsbury's 18-yard box, so it will most likely be a cross. Do you think Mane will find his form in AFCON? So has he played? I really, it's bad of me, but I really haven't been keeping up with AFCON. But I don't know if he's played yet or not. But I hope so. I bloody hope he wins it, because that sounds like what he really wants to do. Sounds like his heart's really set on that. He said he'd trade all of his other trophies in his career for AFCON, and I don't take that as a negative. I want him to have the world. So if him winning it and staying out there as long as possible means finding his form for the rest of the season, then I'm all for it, because we need the best version of Mane and not this one that's playing some awful balls, some awful passes, and missing somewhat sitters, even though he is scoring some. So Kris, thank you for correcting me. The AFCON starting tonight. Exactly. If you are watching and you still haven't done, I know I keep on going on about it, but this is what our channel's all about, building a Liverpool community for things like watch-alongs, talking about transfers all the time, tactical analysis of opposition, all that good stuff. So please do make sure to subscribe. And if you really do like this content, then make sure to tick the bell notification button as well. And then every time we post a video or go live, you'll be the first to know. Cometio starting in the Carabao Cup and not even on the bench here. He wasn't that good, unfortunately. He was hyped up in pre-season and last pre-season as well, I think. But he wasn't very good. And that's fine. It doesn't mean he's finished, but we've got Van Dijk and Konate back, and we want to start taking domestic trophies more seriously. And we've got a weaker forward line anyway, so I'm not mad. He might have been one of the ones who picked up COVID. So again, for anyone who you don't know why they're not playing, it's probably COVID, which is fair enough. Can't do anything about it. So this is one for the chat, I think. I'll leave this for people to discuss. Who do we actually need? Sorry, Coco, I assume that's what you're asking. If we were to sign someone in January, which players do we need to bring in? Get that in the comments and we can have a chat about it. If anyone's got any ideas. And Shrewsbury have got it in our box now. They'll get a cross in and it's shot across the front of Kelleher's goal. Luckily, there was no Shrewsbury players there because otherwise that could have been a tap-in. And now Robertson will carry it forward, but he gives the ball away. Quite poor from Robertson there. He'll be just coming back up to match fitness. So Shrewsbury just starting to get, I mean, we're still all over them, but they're getting a few more touches of the ball, looking a little bit more confident as well. Not too phased by Anfield, which isn't at its absolute electric self, I'll give you that. But it still sounds fairly noisy. So Shrewsbury will have a chance to launch it forwards. And yeah, as I said, they're holding on to the ball much better here. And now they have got a chance on the left to get a cross in. And oh my God. It's 1-0 to Shrewsbury. It's 1-0 to Shrewsbury. Christ's sake. I mean, what's going on there? He's got so much room inside the 6-yard box. Konate doesn't even look. They're running it on Bradley, and Konate's in the box. Doesn't even look behind him. Van Dijk doesn't seem to give him a shout either. And the Shrewsbury strikers just sat right in the middle of them, and it's just a tap in for him. All he had to do was get his leg up to it, and Kelleher stands no chance. That's purely on the centre backs there. Just haven't communicated at all. Really, really poor. And inside half an hour, we're 1-0 down to Shrewsbury in the FA Cup third round. And that's your story, everybody. Really, really poor defensive work there from Van Dijk and Konate, who I said, if we concede, that's on them. And, we've got to call that out. That's really shockingly bad. I don't think you can blame Bradley for that. He's just tracking the ball. But Konate, surely it's got to be Konate who picks that up, or at least gets a call from Van Dijk that there's someone right behind him. Do you know what? I'm not even mad. Go for it. Like, it was like the people who got upset when Neto celebrated over exuberantly a couple of years ago against Wolves. Especially for Shrewsbury as well. This is absolutely massive for them. And that's every player in that team will remember that moment, scoring at Anfield. So I'm really not going to stand here and get mad at them for hitting the zoo at Anfield. What I am mad at is our defence once again costing us just through just a lack of concentration. And I spoke about this in the pre-match talk with James and Owen. I said, I expect some complacency amongst some players. And they've got another chance here inside the box. Connor Bradley's got some work to do. And he does block it. And it's a corner. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Coco. Need to update the scoreline. So it is 1-0. 1-0 to Shrewsbury. Confirmed. Obviously, no VAR either. Not that there was anything that could save us. Yeah, you're right. No, we're being too passive. We haven't created enough. We haven't been ruthless enough. With all our possession in that first 10 minutes, as I was saying before the goal went in, Shrewsbury have just grown and grown into it. Maybe, but the goal is not Bradley's fault. And there's an offside for Shrewsbury just when they thought they might have had a penalty. So thank you for everybody who's getting involved. If your stream is slightly ahead of mine, just as a favour, it would be really, really great if we don't have spoilers necessarily in the comments. So if you just can't contain yourselves, if you just pause your stream slightly for about 30 seconds or so, then we'll be in line just about. The clock in the game is 30:26. So if you do want to be in time with me, then please do that. But otherwise, if you just try to keep spoilers down to a minimum, just hold on to it until I see it. But thank you. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that. I don't know what he's doing. He's just ball watching Konate there. Really poor from him. But there's plenty of time to make amends. So 15 minutes until half time, and we need a goal, which is not something I thought I'd be saying against Shrewsbury in the FA Cup. But I know this can happen to anybody, but you can't go into a game like this expecting that you might lose. Like, you just can't. You've got to have the mindset that you are way better than them, and you've got to show that. And we haven't done that. Luckily for us, as Craig mentions here, we have got a decently strong bench in terms of attacking options if needs be. And I do feel that Roberto Firmino will definitely come on, especially now that we are 1-0 down. Matthew, thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. I just got here, but how have we actually been? I could get we are losing, but have we been the better team at least? In terms of possession and passes, certainly. But we've been, as someone else said earlier, Ahmed, I think, we've been very passive and not necessarily as up for it as we should be. So you just got to hope that goal springs us into life, or at half time, Klopp will give everyone a good bollocking, because things have got to be better, and we've got to create real chances. You know, Waltman up front, he hasn't had anything in terms of sight on goal, really. There was a shot from Kaide Gordon, which was saved quite well, but that was from outside the box. And Curtis Jones has tried a few long-range efforts as well to no real success. So again, thank you to everybody who is watching. We might be losing, but as a channel, we can keep on, and as a community, we can win. If you make sure that you're subscribed to us if you're not already. We're looking to get to 2K subscribers by the end of January. And thanks to so many of you, we are getting ever closer to that target. So if you are here and you haven't gotten around to it yet, even if you're just passing through, make sure that you do chuck us a subscription. We really, really appreciate it. We are up to, yeah, so we're about 50 subscribers away. That's absolutely reasonable. We could do it today. We could absolutely smash 2,000 subscribers today. Oh, what a goal! Kaide Gordon's done it. Hey! Oh, the one we were all so excited to see get another chance in the starting lineup, and he's come up trumps, and Liverpool are back on 1-1, back on level terms. It's not the most beautiful goal you'll ever see. I almost missed it. Let's just see what happens here. So playing it around the outside of the box quite nicely. He's just given way too much space. It's poor from Shrewsbury, but we don't mind that at all. He just left completely unmarked in the middle of the box, takes a couple of touches, opens the space up, and he's very cool with it. I agree, Anthony. Very, very cold there from Kaide Gordon. He's got his first career goal for Liverpool, which is, that's what it's all about. And we are back level. It looks like we've gotten that wake-up call that we needed. As Shrewsbury come forward here. So what a player. He looks insane. I mean, that's what everyone's been saying. I did doubt it. I doubted it. People said he could follow Harvey Elliott. I doubted it, but if he keeps on getting himself into space like that and making finishes look as easy as that, there's no reason to doubt him. Now 10 minutes before half-time. Oh, thank Christ for that. Shrewsbury had the ball in the bloody net again, and it was offside this time. This a game against Shrewsbury cannot be possibly this stressful. Not even the first half is over. Oh, Morecambe are leading 1-0 against Tottenham, so they're having troubles as well. Still a long way to go, so I'm not going to get too excited about it just yet, Super Charlie. You're absolutely right, Hyla. I doubted it. I doubted the reports. I thought this is just an excuse to not buy anybody, but he took that well, and he's played brilliantly in his opening 35 minutes, so let's see what happens. Jamie, if you've got a Twitter account, go on there, search up what you're looking for, and you'll probably find it. All right? Stay here as well. Keep us open on another tab or another device. Make sure you chuck us that subscription, and we'll keep you up to date as the game progresses. Again, everybody, after that fantastic goal, what a better time to subscribe to this channel. Kaide Gordon scores a beauty. So chuck us a subscription. We're just a few short subscribers away from 2,000, which is absolutely unbelievable. We're starting to build up a very nice community. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. It's brilliant to see you all. So if you want to get involved, please do like this video and chuck a subscription to the LFC Transfer Room YouTube channel. And also follow us on Twitter as well, which is on your bottom right of your screen at LFC Transfer Room. So that assist for the disallowed goal came from the left. Need to address it. Needs to address it fast. I mean, Connor Bradley's pressing up the same way that Trent would. So you could argue that that's the midfield as well, who aren't as covering for him the same way they would do for Trent. But again, Van Dijk and Konate and Shrewsbury have twice found players in the middle of the box completely free from a cross. It's poor from them. They need to sort it out quickly. Otherwise, who knows what might happen. And confirmation coming through. Some of you mentioned it in the chat, but West Ham are leading by 1-0 against Leeds United. So is there VAR? Is it just lower league grounds where there's no VAR? Oh, Jack, so are you a Shrewsbury fan? If you are, welcome. It's great to see you. How do you think you're playing? Fortunately, I can't show the game. I can't do that. I'd love to, but I can't do that. But I will talk you through it. If you stick around, I will talk you through it, and we can have a conversation. You can tell us how you think Shrewsbury are doing. So we're doing well. We've got a couple of opportunities here. We had another shot on goal there, and it was quite nicely saved. Matty has been Liverpool's best central defender. It's hard to argue with that. Liverpool, Shrewsbury through here, but that must have been offside. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those stupid scenarios where they let the play go on, but it was miles offside anyway. We could all see it. No, I agree. I think Matip has been our best. So 39 minutes. So let me know, everyone in the chat, let me know who your player of this half so far has been. I mean, it's hard to argue against Kaide Gordon, but let me know about the midfield as well. Has Dixon Bonner or Tyler Morton caught your eye? Curtis Jones is playing well out on the left as well. Haven't seen much of Waltman up top for us. We're trying to play nice, intricate stuff up top, but it's not always coming off, but it's good to see either way. There we go. For anybody who is living in Ireland. Voltman's trying to keep hold of the ball here. Does get dispossessed, however. That was unfortunate. It was a nice little ball through from Fabinho, but he was just slightly crowded out there. And we've won it back high up. Conor Bradley might struggle to keep hold of it here. Tries to win a corner, but he manages to keep hold of it anyway. It's very good from him so far. Got to try and get this ball into the box now. Just play it. It's a nice 1-2 down to the byline. Ball in. And there's 4 Shrewsbury players marking Waltman in the middle there. But keep them coming in. Jamie says Gordon's probably his player of the half. I tend to agree, but let me know. Curtis Jones has been playing well. So we've got a free kick here, and it's again Andy Robertson and Curtis Jones standing over it. See, it'd be interesting to see who takes this. It's Andy Robertson, an in-swinger. Oh my God. It's a penalty. Penalty to Liverpool. Given on Van Dijk. I don't know if it was a foul or a handball there, but Liverpool have the chance on 42 minutes to take the lead here. And I wonder who will be taking this penalty. So I don't think this can be checked by VAR. Just seeing what it was there. Oh, it's a horrific handball. I'm not sure what he's doing there. His arms up like that, and not even anything like a natural position there. So I imagine someone spoiled it in the comments, so I'm not going to look. But it's Fabinho who will take. I haven't seen Fabinho take a penalty for us. I don't know if he takes any for Brazil. I imagine not with Neymar in the team. So just before half-time, can we take the lead here? Fabinho steps up. Oh, cold as you like. Slots it, sends the keeper the wrong way into the bottom left. And we are 2-1 up now, just on half-time. Whoops. Hang on. I've mucked that up. Shrewsbury haven't scored. We've scored. But it's Liverpool 2, Shrewsbury 1, just heading into the last minutes of the first half. No problem, Craig. No problem at all. I managed to keep my eyes off the chat as that free kick came in, so I didn't miss anything. Will Turner, Liverpool a dog. So that's why I love YouTube, for these constructive comments. Oh, you're right. Yep, I've stopped my clock. It's all going wrong. Well, I'll just put it at 45 and leave it there for now, eh? We're now into added time. We're just 2 minutes, so hopefully nothing happens unless it's another Liverpool goal. And yeah, it was very odd. I think the commentators would say he'd done something similar earlier on. So, oh yeah, I thought that name looked familiar. Maybe he was the one who bloody hell. So he doesn't have the best record against Liverpool. If that's the case, if someone could double check that. Kelleher's doing well. To be honest, I haven't seen him have to make too many saves. Didn't stand a chance with the goal, so I'm not going to hold that against him. But yeah, another strong performance from him so far in this game. Matthew, I agree. And ultimately, Konate and Van Dijk have been poor in terms of tracking runners into the box. It's a big save from Kelleher there. Bloody hell. Shrewsbury almost equalising before extra time, half time. So, yeah, at the end of the game, I won't forget about that. And that is something that's annoying and worrying. But ultimately, a goal is a goal. And Shrewsbury do have a corner here. I'm not sure if... I think they'll probably just about get a chance to take it before half-time. But get all of your thoughts in, all of your thoughts, all your questions about the first half, about Liverpool in general, about anything. We can have a little chat about it at half-time. You know, who's been your best performer so far in this game? Excuse me. And the corner is sort of cleared. And that should be half-time. Fantastic. So we go into the break, and it is Liverpool 2, Shrewsbury 1. Shrewsbury taking the lead just before the half-hour mark. The poor bit of defending from the experienced centre-back duo of Konate and Van Dijk, but we take it all the same. Not too bad at all. Kaide Gordon with his first professional goal for Liverpool, which is always great to see. And then a really poorly conceded penalty for handball from Shrewsbury means that after Fabinho struck it, we are into the break at 2-1. So I agree. I said it at the start as well. The fact we've conceded isn't good from us, and it does need to be looked into. And to be honest, but for an offside and a good Kelleher save, could have been 3. Thank you, Clapsy Gaming. Nice to see you here. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and get any of your thoughts in the comments below. Thoughts from Bradley's performance? I think he's been good. I think he's looked better than in his last appearance, which I think was in the Carabao Cup. He's kept the ball a lot better. I think some people are saying maybe he was too passive in blocking the cross for the first goal, but I don't think you can blame him for that. I think if Konate does his job and looks behind him, or Van Dijk gives him a shout, that goal's easily avoided, really. But, you know. I'm just going to have a sit down, so excuse the slight camera angle change. Oh, that's better. So, how are we all feeling about that? So Super Charlie, yeah, I've already read that one out, and I absolutely agree as well. Conor Bradley, don't think it was his fault for the first goal. Do you think there'll be changes in the second half? I mean, there will be. If you're asking about on the first, before the second half gets underway, then potentially, I think now that we're winning, maybe he'll hold off a lot longer. If we were 1-0 down, then I think Bobby or Minamino come on much sooner. But now he can rest them. I think if we're winning, he doesn't need to be playing, does he? Ultimately. But he will come on for 20 or 30 minutes, I'm sure. And Ahmed says Connor is playing far too forward. We need to close down our right flank. Then he can go on his runs. But this is the thing. People keep on expecting us to chop and change our tactics just because of players, but Klopp has never done that. Even when we had our centre-back injuries, he never really changed the style. We still played a high line to differing success, but Trent's role is to be far forward, and it's then the job of the midfield and the centre-backs to cover that. And even if he was back, he still might not have got to the cross, and Konate ultimately still hadn't marked his man. So I'm not too worried about Bradley, and I think he's under orders to be far forward. I don't think he's going out on a limb. Yeah, I think they'll come on in for 20, 30 minutes, definitely. But they don't need to be on for the whole second half. Liam, thank you for the comment. Hope you're having a nice time and enjoying the game. Do you think it's weird that Jones, the Ince prodigal son, barely plays now, and on top of that, he's outclassed by the other youngsters around him? So Curtis Jones has been injured. When he wasn't, he was playing quite regularly. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I think he's had plenty of opportunities, and he's played relatively well. I think Klopp trusts him. We haven't seen him on the left wing for a while, that's for sure. But I don't think he's got the pace that a Liverpool left wing needs to play there consistently. So that left-sided midfield role is much better suited to him, for sure. Thank you for all the comments, everybody. Keep them coming in, and make sure you do subscribe if you haven't done already. Hyla, 5 subs in this game. Minamino should get some minutes, maybe a level to touch for Waltman. Oh yeah, we haven't seen too much of him. He had a couple of chances towards the end of the first half inside the box, but was just crowded out. It's hard for a Liverpool forward who's not a false 9 to make an impact unless things are sort of put there for them. Craig is the best YouTuber. Thank you for clarifying that. I hope Craig doesn't have a burner account where he just goes around with a name saying he's the best YouTuber. Would be quite weird. But thank you for clearing that up all the same. God, my voice gets really sore when I talk for too long, and I keep on, so apologies if I keep on coughing. I'm trying to sip as much water as I can. Reports saying, so Trent obviously had COVID. Had COVID. So they're saying that he should be back for the Carabao Cup on Thursday, which is good news. That's very good news. We need to be at full strength for that game. So again, another reason for Klopp not to risk Bobby and Minamino for too long in this game. And there are some rumours circulating about Thiago being out for much longer than anticipated, saying he's got a hip injury. Or he could be out until March or even the end of the season. And if that's the case, that really does put the brakes on our season in a lot of ways. You know, I hate to be the one to say it, but him and Fabinho are so important to us winning games and seeing games. So we need him back. So I'm hoping those rumours aren't true, because if they're not, then we could be in for a long second half of the season, especially with Sadio and Salah out for the first month of it. Need someone to make Louis the best YouTuber can. I expect to see that done sooner rather than later. I think Morton's been absolutely excellent today. Yeah, he just gets on with it, doesn't he? He's very simple, very slick on the ball. And I think that's something that we need. I mean, maybe not at this age, but when he gets a bit older, he can be that person who, like, you know, controls the tempo of things, potentially. Slows games down for us when they're a bit too frantic. Ahmed says, for smaller teams playing at Anfield, it's the game of their lives, and they can usually do score. That's why I went 4-1 and not 4-0. Now wrong conceding anyone really in the cup rounds. I get your point, but it's Virgil van Dijk, the best centre-back in the world, and Konate, two massive blokes. And we've got Fabinho sat in front of them as well. Like, they really shouldn't be creating much, let alone scoring headers inside the 6-yard box. You know, if they scored a belter from 30 yards, then fair enough. But it was a very stoppable goal. It didn't need to go in at all. Thanks. Craig is the best YouTuber. We'll see you in a bit. We knew this before the season started, to be fair. Going to be a huge loss if true. Yeah, I mean, we all every time one of our players comes back from injury, we hope that they've turned a corner and that'll be their last injury. But it's never the case. And we have just got one too many players who are susceptible to injuries and susceptible to long-term injuries as well. So people were saying at the start, as this season went on, that he's proven to be one of our best ever signings. But if the rumours are true and he's out for this season, I think he has to go down as a flop of a signing. Not in terms of his performances, but how available he is for our games. He's absolutely flops in that regards, which is sad to say, because if he did play most games every season, I think we'd be closer to Man City than we are, and we'd stand a great chance going into the second half of the season. But now it's a lot more difficult to see that. Would you rather FSG buy a few new players or FSG give Salah a new contract? Well, the thing is, that is the question that we're almost asking, isn't it? That's, as much as I'd love that to just be a hypothetical scenario, that's actually what we might have to pick between. And how ridiculous is that? One of the biggest teams in the world, and we're having to pick between giving one of our players a new contract or bringing in some new players. Why can't we do both? Ultimately, I think we probably have to get Salah a new contract. He's the best player in the world at the minute. We can't let him go. Absolutely not. But the fact we have to choose is quite pathetic. Certainly an interesting first half. I'm watching after coming out of hospital. Had a nose operation on Wednesday. Oh, well, I hope the operation went well and you're feeling okay. You're coming out of hospital, so that sounds like good news. But thank you for watching. That's commitment. I like that. But I hope everything's well for you and you're able to go home and rest up now. Anthony, I don't think Salah signs a new contract if we don't bring anyone in. That's a good point as well, actually. This is where it all gets a bit uncertain, because there's rumours that he wants to see concrete backing from the board. He wants to see new players arriving before he signs a contract, and I think that says a lot about him and his thoughts about Liverpool. He's clearly not just in it for himself. He wants this team to be the team that he knows it can be, which is a world-beating team. But we need some replacements and some reinforcements to do that. So again, I think that just shows that he does have an affinity with the club somewhat. So thoughts on the first half? I mean, we dominated early on, became sloppy, gave them the goal. It sort of woke us up a little bit, and now we're back in front the way it should be. So that's good to see. But the game's probably coming back on now, actually. So I will return to my previous position, and I'll just move the camera back slightly, a little bit higher, I think. There we go. Look at that. Fantastic. So second half getting underway. I think Taki Minamino is coming on now. Tarek, lovely to hear that. I loved your Twitter account for a while now, and I was stoked to find out that you have a YouTube. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. So obviously it's not just me. It's not just me on the YouTube. There's lots of other people as well on the live videos and making videos on players we're interested in, etc., etc. So make sure you subscribe so you can check out all of that good stuff as well. But thank you very much. That's a very lovely thing to say. So I'm going to put the clock back on now because I think we are underway. But thoughts for the second half. Matthew, got a rest. I'm okay. Had a broken nose bone, fully repaired. Bloody hell. Just need to stop being a little complacent. How did you do that? What did you do? What did you bang it on? Sounds rough. David Corbett, any chance we can get a bit of enthusiasm in the update/commentary for the second half? LOL. You'll get what you're given. You'll get what you're given, David. How excited do you want me to be about a third round FA Cup tie against Shrewsbury? You know? You're asking me to fake it. And I think anyone who's running around screaming, being 2-1 up against Shrewsbury, is faking it. So I have to disagree with you on that one, unfortunately. But thank you for your opinion, nonetheless. Yes, so Minamino is coming on now. So if he carries his form from the Carabao Cup into the FA Cup, we're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. Shrewsbury don't stand a chance. Oh, I had to put that. Oh, thank you. I had to put that one up. Thank you. That's a very lovely thing to say. So I am a few minutes behind on my stream. So I'm going to put my clock back. So for anyone who's interested in being live with me and the game's already started for you, then please do just pause that. So my stream getting underway any moment now. So apologies for any confusion there. Shrewsbury will kick off. So we aren't shooting towards the Kop in this half, unfortunately. Thanks, Kris. Hope you enjoy it as well, however you're watching it. Matthew, so got attacked a few years ago. Nose was almost completely destroyed and couldn't breathe out of it, so had to be repaired. Second half. Second half, just no complacent and we'll win. So I agree with the second part, but almost destroyed. Jesus Christ. Well, thank you for sharing that. And all of us from the LFC transfer room wish you all the best on your recovery. And it sounds like you're at the better end of that. Hyla says possession first half 83 to 17%. 8 shots, 3 on target. I think Liverpool had a slight advantage first half. Yeah. didn't have too much to show for it until we conceded, and then we looked a little bit more alive. So, Ahmed, just saw my grandson in the close-up of the crowd. Oh, brilliant! So he managed to. Is he a regular? Does he have a season ticket, or is this his first trip? Let us know. It's always exciting going to a game. So my stream's just playing up a little bit there, which is frustrating. But we're back now. Apologies for that. Shrewsbury play a ball over the top. It doesn't come to anything. The fact that you drew with Spurs is funny enough. Okie dokie. I mean, I wouldn't be proud of that. Spurs fans, I mean, the refereeing decisions certainly played a role in that. But we're all up for a civilized conversation about any result. There's a lot of fighting going on in the comments. Stop it, please. This is a peaceful place. Just having some problems with my bloody stream at the moment. But if everyone in the comments could focus back on the game, we're not interested in talking about the Spurs game. Because a couple of weeks ago, what's done is done. It's just not worth it. Let's focus on the game and focus on the young players who are, some of them making their debuts as well, how they're getting on. Right, thank God for that. I'm back. Here we go. Whew. Searching frantically, but we're back. Thiago, yes. So at half time, I don't know if you were around, but it looks like he could be out for a lot longer than anticipated. It seemed like it was just a small injury and he'll be back after New Year, but now there's rumours he could be out until March or even the end of the season, which is bad. I'm just going to turn my light on. That's better. Apologies if that's suddenly too bright for anybody, but it had to be done. The days are still short. I haven't... Oh, I don't know if I missed that or if it's still to come on my stream. Oh, bloody hell, now I've seen it. Oh, yeah, he should have scored that. Shocking. Shocking. Dixon Bonner. We'd have liked to have seen him score as well. Is the story about Josh Vela and the Liverpool actually made a bid for £1 million for him at the age of 17 really true? I am not sure, but if anyone else from the LFC transfer room is in the comments, please do feel free to answer that if you know about that. Adam, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you here. It's a wonderful Sunday here in the States. It's not too bad here, actually. And Kelleher's just come to our rescue again there. Just come out nice and quickly to clear a ball away. A poor ball from Van Dijk there. Very casual performance from him, and not in the good way. Too many injury-prone midfielders. Yeah, I agree. You know, we've got, even Curtis Jones is slightly injury-prone. Henderson's one, but he's been better this season. Thiago's terrible. Fabinho can pick up injuries. Oxlade-Chamberlain for sure can pick up injuries. Naby Keita as well. Harvey Elliott's injured at the minute. So that's pretty much all our midfielders, and they all have a tendency to get injured. Matthew Barnett rocking a cool beard there, a fellow bearded guy I am. If Liverpool win the UCL or Prem, I'll dye my beard red. If they win, yeah. Do you know what? I'll join you on that one. If they win the UCL or the Prem, I will dye my hair red. You heard it here first, everybody. Why is Thiago terrible? No. Didn't say he was terrible. He's injured. He's injured, not terrible. He's bloody our best midfielder, apart from arguably Fabinho. Curtis Jones tracking down a ball back to the keeper here, but it is cleared back into the middle half of the pitch. Thank you so much, everybody who's still watching. It's great to see you all here. Please make sure if you haven't done already that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're already on the page, so just chuck a subscription our way. We're desperate to get to 2K, to 2,000 subscribers, and we're on 1.96. So we're just less than 40 subscribers away. And you guys could be what gets us over the line. So any news on Elliott's return? As far as we know, he's very close to first team training again. That's probably then at least another 3-4 weeks until he's ready to actually play Premier League football. So a lot of people have said mid-Jan, but until we actually see him in proper capacity, I would say probably the end of January, beginning of February, if I'm being honest. Thank you, Ahmed. That's very nice of you. Tarek, Thiago playing more than 20 games a season will be a bigger achievement than us winning the quadruple. Sarcasm's the greatest form of wit, I must say. Craig, good to have you back. Good to have you back. Not the real Craig, but Craig all the next. I'll just call you Craig. It's better than calling you by the full YouTube name. Kumars says, we'll stick to our Moneyball transfer strategy until FSG sell our club to a worthy entity. Sod knows when that'll be, though. Haven't heard any rumours on that front. I mean, people love the idea of passive income nowadays, and, why would you sell that? Even if you're going to get a few billion for it. Who knows? But we're starting the second half, sorry, much the way that we ended the first half. Again, plenty of possession, just knocking it around patiently. We're leading now, so we don't need to go after this game particularly. We can just slow things down, try and tire Shrewsbury out by moving it around. Absolutely no rush. So could be in for a bit of a boring second half, who knows, but we can keep it interesting in the comments, I'm sure. Thiago playing a full season, among others, gives us a chance for a quadruple. And that's what I was saying at half time. Him and Fabinho really are the most important players for us to win trophies and win big trophies this year. Let's say Shrewsbury are putting up a good fight. I mean, they'll be gassed to only be 2-1 at this point. There's still all to play for them if they can somehow carve out an opportunity, which they managed to do at least 3 times in the first half. So there's no reason they can't go and do it again, which is why we can't rest on our laurels too much. 56 minutes played now, at least according to my stream. Craig, so I think it was just Minamino for Wolfman. If someone can correct me on that, but Minamino's definitely come on. Gnabry is my player. I'd love at LFC, but it'll never happen. Yeah, I can't think of... There hasn't been anything on Gnabry. I think mainly it's Luis Diaz, but that's questionable. A lot of people are interested in Kessie, but I don't know if we've made any informal inquiries about that. Zakari is another one, but he's free in summer, so there's no way we'll try and sign him if there's a chance to get him for free. Curtis Jones with a potential opportunity here, goes for the strike, but it is diverted away for a Liverpool throw-in. Oh yeah, so we spoke about Tchouaméni yesterday on on Transfer Central, I think, and yeah, it's slightly starting to pick up a bit of momentum. This one, again, he's just an option that we're looking at. I mean, there's countless players that we're looking at. Whether there's real solid interest there, we wouldn't find out till the summer anyway. And yeah, that's correct. We were linked with Coman for a bit as well, but I haven't heard anything about that so far this season. Calvin Phillips is very quiet at the minute. Rafinha, though, is another one of those that we're looking at much in the same way that we're looking at Diaz and Zakaria. You know, they're on our books, but there's still nothing solid there. Is Origi a done deal? Is he gone? No, he's not. I don't think he can't go anywhere in January. I think he's either injured or got COVID. That's why he's not in this fixture. But I'd be absolutely stunned if FSG allow Origi to go, because they're not going to sign anyone, so they can't sell him as well. Tarek's interested in Gravenberch. I mean, he's a fantastic youth prospect for sure, but he would cost an absolute arm and a leg, and that's just not something that we have a habit of doing unless they're proven talents. Be interesting to see if Fabinho plays the whole game as well. I mean, there's not many players that we can bring on, but surely you wouldn't want to risk Fabinho playing a whole 90 against Shrewsbury, especially if you're winning. I suppose 2-1's quite a dangerous scoreline to think too much about the future. But again, thank you everybody who is watching and being so active in the comments section. If you haven't done already, please make sure to subscribe to the LFC Transfer Room. We're on 1.96k subscribers, which is just unbelievable. We've got ourselves a really nice little community going on here. So many familiar faces coming back and so many new people joining in as well. And look forward to seeing you again and again on the channel. I really would like to see Minamino score. But not too much in terms of chances for him so far. So my time is about a minute out now because it keeps on buffering ever so slightly. So my stream is just on 61 minutes now. So there's about almost 10 people who are like regularly involved in the channel. Yeah, I think that's right, Anthony. Or I think there's roughly about 10 people, maybe just under that. And yeah, some people record videos before, mainly on like specific players and their stats and any transfer interest. And we've got also lots of live shows as well, which is where we get to interact with all of you, which is the best part, really. And there's plenty of us, so you're bound to like at least one of us if you're not too keen on me. Who do you hope will win AFCON? Well, I'm hoping that because I really want our player to be happy. I really hope that Senegal do well, but it's really bad. I really should have looked at it a bit more in detail, but I hope he does well, because you could just tell from his interview that he really wants to do well for country. Yeah, I agree, Tarek. I mean, yeah, they're ultimately responsible for why we had to go a goal down anyway. The midfield and attack have been like fine, especially considering how young they are. And yeah, I'd say the worst performers have probably been Konate and Van Dijk. Very questionable at times. Yeah, exactly. One of Egypt, Senegal, or Guinea. So Salah, Mane, or Keita to win it. I hope Matip doesn't come on. He doesn't need to be risked in a game like this. He's still a very injury-prone player. We don't need to risk him. But Firmino is coming on, however, for Elijah Dixon-Bonner. So a good 60 minutes in the tank for him. He's looked nice and neat on the ball as well. And Firmino comes on now, so a 4-2-3-1, probably. Not a 4-2-4. Hope not, anyway. So unless Jones goes back into midfield, I think that's what's happening. Jones into midfield, Minamino to the left, and then Bobby up top. That's fine. I like that. I think Konate, it's questionable in a minute. We haven't seen much of Gomez, but I think Konate's got a higher ceiling than Gomez at this point from what I've seen. Gomez, anytime he's come on this season, he's looked a little bit shaky. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe he just needs more consistent starts to build confidence. But Tyler Morton just had a shot there that's deflected wide, so that'll be a corner. Yeah, I like that. It's true. Absolutely. More questions asked. The corner doesn't come to anything. There's a foul given in Shrewsbury's favour. Anyway. So we are now on 1.97. So we're under 30 subscribers away now. unbelievable. Thank you so much to everybody who's already subscribed. If you haven't gotten around to it yet, now's the time. Just press that subscribe button. Means the world to all of us here at the LFC Transfer Room, and hopefully we can repay you back with good content and a good community like we've got so far in today's live chat. Thank you, Craig. I've been told that a couple of times by people on on the channel. I don't know if for football commentary that's necessarily the best thing, but I feel like I'm saving the big flamboyant celebrations. You know, I mean, we played the games I've done a watch along for is Everton. That was my first one, so I was really nervous for that. And then did AC Milan, which was the dead rubber game, so that didn't matter. And then Chelsea and Tottenham ended up being draws, and it was a bit tight. I never knew which way those games were going to go, so I was a bit reluctant to overindulge myself. And then this is the FA Cup against Shrewsbury in the third round. You know, I can't exactly go mental as someone else suggested earlier on, but I like to think it's a compliment, so I'll say thank you for it. I agree. I think towards the start of the season, we had like a good record from set pieces, but every time I watch Liverpool recently, our corners have been so disappointing, and we've got so many of them as well. I don't know when the draw is, but let's do a little Google search, shall we? So when is the fourth round? Van Dijk's been forced to make a clearance there. Liverpool with a chance there. What it's already been. Has the draw already been today? Oh no, it takes place at 4:50. So not long after this game finishes, about an hour after the final whistle. So we'll learn our fate quite soon. My Wi-Fi is just slightly falling, so apologies if there's any buffering. I've got a bloody Ethernet cable attached to my computer, but it still sometimes slows down, which is really annoying. But thankfully, the connection's been all right so far today. So about halfway through the second half now. It's on ITV, I think it said. It'll either be ITV or BBC, so just keep an eye out, I guess. So Liverpool just playing it around the outside of the Shrewsbury box like they have for a lot of this game. Be really good to just get another goal here now. Oh, so it's still a 1-0 to, is it Morecambe Tottenham are playing? So that's excellent news as we come into the final 20 minutes. And yeah, I assume Arsenal's 5 or 5:30, so it'll be just before that. We've looked a lot more compact. There's been a few chances for Shrewsbury in the second half, I'll admit, but we've looked a bit stronger. Having said that, we've just lost out and been forced to give away a free kick to stop a Shrewsbury counter-attack. So I'll keep my mouth shut. So, I mean, we look relatively comfortable, but the thing is, they could. We're still only 1-0, 1 goal in it, so anything could happen. And as I say that, they've just won the ball back, but we managed to get the block in as they unleashed a fierce shot from 20 yards. Oh my Christ! And it's Kelleher collects from the. Just as I read this, again, they look like they're about to score. So in our case, it's been forced upon us because of COVID, but in the early rounds, bigger teams do tend to play younger players just to save their more experienced players on the league. But if we progress, the further and further we get into it, the stronger our lineups will be, injury and COVID depending. Are people saying Spurs have equalised now? Well, to be expected. Still only 1-1 though. I still believe Morecambe can still do it, do the impossible. It's Harry Winks. My sources are telling me in the comments it's Harry Winks who's equalised. I wish I'd watched it. I was watching a non-league game that's local to me, but I wish I'd seen that. Sounds like Newcastle were bloody dreadful. I think people were upset because they didn't even go and clap their fans after the game, which is even more embarrassing. Trippier from Champions League to Championship. Yeah, I mean, he came out and did an interview saying, "I'm not doing it for the money," but like, what else are you doing it for? I mean, it is worrying. I like Eddie Howe, and I thought he would have gotten something out of these players by now. I mean, he's doing worse than Steve Bruce probably would have done, to be honest. I mean, Steve Bruce could pick up results here and there, but Newcastle just don't look like they're getting anything. Liverpool are just starting to give the ball away in a few dangerous areas quite needlessly. And with 15 minutes left, it's not the ideal situation to be in. So I wonder if Klopp will think about making any more changes to the midfield just to solidify things a little bit more. I don't even know why that's funny. Saint Minimum. Was that what you meant to say, or was that autocorrect? Oh. Liverpool coming forward here. I mean, it has been a pretty boring second half, in all honesty. But I think we've all made it a bit more entertaining. That's the great thing, isn't it? You watch the game normally with full commentary, but they can't talk back and you can't get your opinions heard, which is why watch-alongs are so brilliant, because you don't even have to watch it in place of the game. You can have the game on, you can have us on at the same time. And we can all just chat about the thing that we love most, which is Liverpool Football Club. I think with Newcastle, it's been coming for a long time because I can't. What was his name? Mike Ashley. Sorry, just wouldn't invest for ages. Tried to rely on magic, like Rafa Benitez and top managers to try and get him out of having to spend money, but it was always just going this way. They escaped a few times. It's the same thing that happened to Wigan when they were in the Prem. They had no interest in investing to a level where they could ever be comfortable. It was just survive. And, you get a few lucky escapes and you feel good, and that's like almost like winning a trophy for them. But eventually it's just not enough. And I think that's what's happened. We could use a boring half with getting a lead. You're right, but I'd prefer to be more than one go up against this team with our performance at the back so far in this game. It's boring, but I can't even relax, if that makes sense. And Liverpool win a free kick here, just about 15, 20 yards outside of the Shrewsbury box. Minamino brought down. So we have a free kick here. And it's probably a Robertson in swinger. Put this in the corridor of uncertainty. It's poor, but we keep it out on the other side this time. Fabinho into Bradley. Yes! Bobby Firmino makes it 3-1. Now I was just saying we can't relax yet. One goal in it against a dangerous-looking Shrewsbury team on the break, but Bobby Firmino comes on, and with just under 12 minutes to go, we are now 3-1 up, and very, very likely through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. It's again not the prettiest of goals from Liverpool, but they get it where it needs to be. Konate's shot is blocked, falls to Bobby, and it is a back heel. It's cold. All three goals have been ice cold. There's still lots of bodies in his way, but his back heel just goes through all of them. And, that's the kind of luck that he wasn't getting last season. It's good to see that he's got that magic back. Bobby Firmino, give it to him and he will score. And the Bobby Firmino chant rings around Anfield now. Kenny Dalglish looking happy in the stands. And we've got 9 fingers or 9 toes in the fourth round here. So again, if you are watching, thank you for being around for so long, everybody. It's been a good time for a relatively entertaining game. Kaide Gordon comes off now. He's had a really strong game, 79 minutes under his belt, getting us the goal that brought us back into the game. Very nicely taken, if but for poor defending from Shrewsbury. And no matter what happens, if he makes it or not, he'll get. He has that moment now. And now Fraundorf comes on for 10 minutes. Can he do something? Let's see. Just a reminder, whilst there is this little break in play, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the LFC Transfer Room. I know I keep on saying it, but we're so close to 2,000 subscribers, which is just incredible. So if you've forgotten to do it, you've been putting it off until the end of the video, just make sure you do it now. Get your friends to do it as well. Any Liverpool fans, tell them to subscribe to us. They won't regret it. got all the breaking Liverpool news and watch-alongs, much like this one, for every game. So you won't regret it. We are back to passing it around the edge of the box now, and I feel that might be in our own half. Sorry, and I feel like that might be a sign of what's to come in these final 10 minutes or so. So let me know in the comments who you've been most impressed with in this game, whether that's just one of our regular first teamers, or if one of the youth has particularly stood out to you. I imagine I can guess some of the names, but let me know and your reasoning for it all the same. But everybody on Twitter is very, very happy with Kaide Gordon. And so am I. I'm sure all of us in the chat are as well. He seems like he's got a big future ahead of him. Yeah, that's right. I think Anthony, he's being optimistic, and that's what we need. Anything can happen, you're right. But let's not be too disappointed if it doesn't come to fruition. Tottenham have now completed their comeback against Morecambe, so they will more than likely be through to the fourth round. And so, as we found out earlier, the draw for the fourth round is at about 10 to 5 UK time this evening, just before the Arsenal game on ITV. I'm pretty sure. And there's another chance for us to get a goal here. Oh, and it's just about cleared from Shrewsbury. We've got another chance to get a cross in. We lose it again. Call it for handball. Everyone's getting in the way. And eventually it is Shrewsbury do break away with it, and it's all very end-to-end now, almost. Although Shrewsbury struggling to get out of their half. But possession switching back and forth very quickly. John, thanks for the comment. Make sure you like and subscribe. We could use more people like you. And Spurs are now pulling away. Same scoreline as us, 3-1. Harry Kane's stat padding against Morecambe in his worst season, so he'll be happy. So it doesn't look like there's too many upsets today in the FA Cup. Just got back from the game. Which game? This game? You've just come back from Liverpool? Just under 4 minutes now. Well, why did you leave? Why did you leave? It's only the 85th bloody minute. You must have left way before that. Shocking. Shocking from you. Bet you were quiet the whole bloody time as well. What does everyone think of Minamino since he's come on? He's not had too much to go off, but whether that's his fault or not, I'm not 100% sure watching it. Kelleher's almost slipped up there, but he's had a relatively decent game. Not too much to do. A couple of good saves. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's not managed to get himself involved too much, but I don't think his strength is in that front three unless he's the false nine. But oh, really? On Twitter, I just find the ones that are like being live streamed directly to Twitter tend to be the best. Like that's the ones I've been watching. I mean, maybe like once or twice during the game you have to switch and find a different one because they get taken down, but the ones I've just come across tend to be quite good, actually. So we enter the last 2 minutes of regular time. Please do make sure that you subscribe to the LFC Transfer Room if you haven't done already. Really appreciate everyone who's joined us so far, whether you've been in the comments or just watching along. It's brilliant to have you here. Probably now is the time for everyone to throw in their man of the match suggestions. I'd probably go with Kaide. I'd probably go with Kaide Gordon. Got us back into the game. Been a very bright spark. Hasn't done much wrong, really. Looked energetic, looked brave. And yeah, I agree. It's been quite underwhelming. I think we've tried to kill the game, slowing it down, which is fair enough. But you know, from an entertainment point of view, it doesn't exactly make for the best viewing. I agree. The back two, very underwhelming as well. Liverpool have a free kick here, which they can get into the box again. So our next game is in the Carabao Cup semi-final against Arsenal on Thursday. And we will, of course, be covering that in its entirety. We'll have a little pre-game chat, have the full watch-along here. So again, if you subscribe, you don't even have to search us up. It'll just be there in your subscriptions. Tick the bell button, and as soon as we go live, you'll know about it and you can just join us. So that's the best reason to subscribe. So we'll be there for the Arsenal game. And of course, between now and then, we'll have plenty of transfer news and I'm sure some debates as well. We've had debates on Sadio Mane's form, Jordan Henderson, what's his place in the Liverpool team going forward. So you can get involved in those because those are all mainly done live as well. So you can get your thoughts in on those. So make sure to subscribe. There's another free kick now with just 3 minutes of added time. Shrewsbury making one final substitute by the looks of things. Yeah, I mean, he's looked good since he's come on. It's hard to give him man of the match, though. Only playing 20 minutes or so. Yeah, I mean, Kane needs to, if we're talking about something other than Liverpool, Kane needs to leave Spurs, doesn't he? I mean, I can't stand the bloke. Absolutely cannot stand him. I think he's a complete bellend. But on a serious, unbiased level, if he wants to win something, then he needs to so Costas Tsimikas is coming on and James Norris is coming on as well. So Robertson goes off. And then I imagine... Who is it? Tyler Morton? Or he's coming off. No, he's going to take the free kick first. So Norris might not even get on. There's just 90 seconds to go. Oh, here we go. So Tyler Morton comes off. James Norris comes on for his debut. So Fabinho, a lot of Fabinho shouts for man of the match. It's hard to agree with as well. Oh, what a goal. Fabinho just adds a bit of spice to the result. Makes it 4-1, makes it look very comfortable for Liverpool. He struck it firmly, and I don't know if it was saved or deflected, but he keeps chasing the ball. And it's a tight angle, and he strikes it firm and true, and it is fired into the roof of the net, and that's absolutely game, set, and match now. So Fabinho has 2 goals. I don't think that's ever happened before. 2 goals for Fabinho, 1 from the penalty spot and 1 right at the death. And that is full time. Liverpool win. I'll change the score. Win 4-1 against Shrewsbury after going 1-0 down inside the opening half an hour. Thank you so much, everybody who's been watching. It's been absolutely brilliant having you all along for the ride, whether you've been in the comments or whether you've just been watching along. Thank you very much. Make sure if you haven't done already, I know so many of you have, but if you haven't, please do subscribe before you leave today, and we'll be back throughout this week with much more live content, including a watch along of the Arsenal game, the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg at Anfield. So please stick around for that. Leave a subscription. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.